Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Kelly Quinn and I'm an instructor with Paint for the Wild. And today I'll be showing you the materials and the techniques to drawing in and filling in and shading in your very own great white shark. If you haven't seen the lesson yet, we have a how to draw a great white shark lesson in our how to draws playlist, as well as how to shade in with graphite. But this is just the next step where we're now filling in with colored pencils, and we're going to explore some other ideas and concepts. The materials that we are using is these Blick colored pencils. So we're using this essential color pencil set from Blick, and then this is a Faber-Castell artist pen, and this is just an extra small, a very small, fine point pen, just like that. The colors that we're using from this particular set is aqua, purple, periwinkle, light blue, navy blue, black, gray, and then of course we have our normal blue color. And so using just this variety of colors, you can also use maybe a few more greens if you would like, but I'll be using every single one of these pencils right here to show you how to develop this entire drawing that you see here. At the very end, we can go around and outline our shark with our little fine point pen. You don't have to do this step. This is only if you want to, but this is just the particular material that we use to do that. And now we would love to see your drawings and your colored pens, colored artwork. So please share it with us by tagging us #ofthewild and sharing it at Paint for the Wild when you're all done. And we would love to share it on our stories. So if you're all ready to go, you got your materials and you have your shark drawn, let's get started. As with watercolor, we're going to start off our drawing with pencils from our lightest to our darkest. So we're going to start with, let's say this like light blue color we have right here. And we're going to just lightly start shading in the same way that we filled in our graphite. We're going to start doing the same technique here with our colored pencils. So very, very lightly. And this kind of light blue color is really going to be used throughout the entire great white shark. So especially the only places I'd say leave untouched still would be like this center around the cheek right here, over the gills, over the belly, and the white areas right here. And a few spots up here will be in light blue, but everything on the back will pretty much be in colored pencil eventually. So just lots and lots of layers here are going to reward you with the effect that you're looking for. So I'm just going to go down the back. It's really about getting in these first layers, or just really about getting in the color. And just like with shading in with contrast with graphite, softly filling in all of these colors, layer after layer after layer, will yield a nice soft gradient and make it look more realistic in the long run. And see, I'm holding my hand further back to get a nice wide shading arc or fill. It's just like this. Excellent. And then once you have your first layer in, I'd say go in with a slightly heavier layer. And great whites have that really kind of, it's almost like a dull green, navy blue, gray hue. So that's why we're starting with this bright blue color as well, because it'll be a great highlight. And since our highlights, go from our lights to our darks here, our highlights are really first. So that's why we're putting in this blue first. All right, we'll start there. I know we got a baby blue great white shark. And let's go ahead and toss in let's say, I think it's a turquoise, it's aqua. We're gonna do an aqua or a turquoise color next. And again, lightly filling in. I'm going to be a bit heavier on this down here in the belly, where we already have some of this like graphite in here. If you notice, I kind of had a little bit of graphite, like how I have where I'm drawing right now, already shaded in earlier. And so it's that's what you can say is an under drawing, or, say you are doing our contrast, doing our shadows first in a darker color or a graphite. It's actually a way that you can build color in both watercolors and pencil, as well as in oil. So it's actually a technique usually used in oil. So it's very useful to know that you can do that with a different medium and then work your way in with your colors. Or you could even use like a dark navy or almost like a black pencil to do that as well. And then go in and do some of your highlights if you want to smooth that out. But I'm going to show you how it works just like this in the way that we're doing it right now. So I'm going over again, and some I'm going a bit heavier. All right, so we got those first two light colors in. So now we're going to move on to a more gray. This is periwinkle. So we're going to start getting some more distinct blues in here. And then once we do this layer, I think we're going to go in and do one layer of a darker color first, and then hop back into doing lighter ones. And this is good to know is that whenever you're working with pencil, if you've had a lot of erase marks in the previous drawing or an under sketch that you've done, it's going to be a bit harder to get a nice smooth look to your drawing when it's all filled in. And that's because you've actually damaged the paper below it by erasing or by pressing really hard with your graphite pencil. So just keep that in mind whenever you're prepping yourself to do a colored pencil drawing, that it all starts in that sketch. So don't press too hard. It'll definitely show through if you do that. But it's okay if it's doing it for you right now. This is all a learning process, and we have plenty of time to go back in and try again. Like, that's like one of the biggest things I recommend is just not doing a piece and being done with it, but going back in and reiterating on it and trying it again, maybe doing it a little differently or approaching it with a different mindset. And you might actually surprise yourself about how different a piece comes out the second time, third time, or fourth time around. All right, so I'm going to hop in now really quickly with a navy blue in our darker areas. And I'm going to start shading in a bit more heavily. And now we all know that great whites are very much a gray tone animal. But why we're putting in all this blue is because they actually reflect the blue in their environment. And then also I think it just like, they look so much more colorful than we think they are just based off of, their basic color. So all these blues and hues in here, you could do greens instead of blues. It's totally up to you, but they're all relevant and totally could be an actual color that you would see on a wild great white shark if you encountered it. hopefully in a cage. This color right here is really a great color for a blue shark, which we'll be doing one of those here soon. But it's also great getting in some of this really bright, vibrant color on this gorgeous animal too. Just filling in this area. Do it on either side of the face right here. Going over the gills a little bit. Just like that. So we're going to very blue, again, great white shark. Now we're going to go over with our black in some of these areas where we just went over with our navy. And very lightly tread with black, just so you know. It will consume an entire area and color very easily. So just keep that in mind. Going down, pectoral fin. Just sweeping over these areas, giving them a little bit more definition. And so we're doing it very lightly, not going in with a very heavy hand and doing like dark, dark, dark black. We're kind of trying to get more of this gray navy color. And so you're only going to get that if you just very patiently just keep blending over, going over it all. Let's get down here. You're going to see that you're going to lose some of your lines, and that's okay. You can always get them back. I'll lightly go over this area in the black. And following the length of the body. All right, so that's just our first layer of the black that we're adding in there, darkening it all up. And now we're gonna go over it with a bit of purple down here. So we're just gonna get this violet and kind of go over that. I find that the mix of the navy blue, like a violet purple, and a little bit of black make the perfect dark navy gray kind of color. That's a great contrast. It still has a little bit of a hue of color in it. So that's just one of my favorite combinations. And you see it becomes very gray for sure, but it has that hint of purple and that hint of blue in it. And it's excellent for creating a little bit more unique interest in your colors. And of course, doing purple up in here. Going down the back. All the way down the tail. Remember, very light. Lots of layering. Building up contrast. I'm going to go over with just normal blue. Again, in these dark areas, starting there. I'm going to go ahead and pull this darker blue color up into the body more. Now that we've shaded in enough. Pull it up to the upper body a bit more, but again, being just very light when applying it. All right, now we're gonna go in with gray. Just like normal old gray, and we're gonna tone down these colors a bit more. Excellent. So I'm going to go back in and we're going to add a bit more color to our white areas in the belly. Under the jaw, the gills. Then we're going to go back in with our, I think this is aqua. Yep, aqua. And highlight through here just a little bit more. So now I'm getting down much heavier with these pencils now that we've built up enough layers. So now it won't create like a harsh edge or line when you put in the color. It's going to be more filled in, but it's softly done because we've gone layer after layer to build it up. This is why you do lots of layers when it comes to pencil as well. All right, I think I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do a bit more this periwinkle color. And this is a periwinkle is kind of like a blue purple, but it kind of come off as a nice gray tone. So this is great for our great white shark. Right. Now I'm going to go back in with black. We're going to do another layer. Darks. Ooh. So it just shows you how heavily I'm having to press down right there. So that little area is going to be a bit harsher than I really intended it to be, but you still get to see just how you have to really press down on these pencils when you're building up to your final color. Mostly it's because like I want you to be able to see kind of some of the details in the tail over here. And we're working with such a dark animal that we're going to have to use black for some of these little fine lines so that they show up. And now we're just going over the areas that you're going to shade in a bit more. Of course, the gill area, jaw, the eye. Go, and then that was our lateral line. We just again shaded around right there. I'm going to go along our edge now and kind of soften our dark edge with that periwinkle color. I'm going to hop in here and I'm going to shade this lower fin in this area with this periwinkle. I'm going to shade it heavily beneath the pelvic and the pectoral fin with this one. Do a little bit of shading under the jaw, around the mouth. Do a little bit right here. All right, our great white shark is really coming together now. So we're just going to do a few more things. Coming back in with our aqua color. We're going to do final round for just another punch of color. Pretty heavy. Over top all of this. Get down here where the pectoral fin is. Yes, so here we go. Now we're really getting to the true color that we've been after this entire time, which is this really dark navy color you see down here. But the original navy color that this actually comes in is not correct at all. So it's this combination of all of these values and hues layered over top of each other that create the light and the color that we are looking for. again, we're just going to go over all of our dark areas. I'm just going to define that belly line with this navy colored a little bit too. All right, our shark is really coming together, guys. And, you know, at this point, you can totally be done with it and it's going to look awesome. Or if you want to keep pushing and pulling and playing with these blues and these hues and just how dark you can go and how clean and crisp of a shadow or shading you can go, I would totally recommend playing. Of course, if you don't make it look perfect on your first try, that is a-okay. You are learning, my friend. And please feel free to just reference these videos and come back to them over and over and over again for any kind of questions. Or if you want to see a technique in particular, please let us know by messaging us or replying in the comments below with any questions. We're here to help you guys. And then obviously also one more thing, I'm going to put a little bit of a color around the eye right there. But leave that white spot. Very important. So if you wanted to leave your shark just like this, look perfect, you can also outline your gray white shark with some ink, like, you know, using like a small marker, pen, anything like that, if you really want to define them. But otherwise than that, then you are totally done with your shark, guys, and you've done awesome. I am so proud of you. If you wanted to outline your shark, I love using these Faber-Castell big artist pens. Just get extra small, really tiny, fine point, and just go around and outline your drawing. It's great for going and getting in really crisp lines inside your shark, as well as really defining the outside of your shark. Let's see, just like that. You can add some more emphasis inside your fins as well. And even define your markings a bit more if you'd like. And then with that, that would be the only other thing that you can do to this drawing. You want to define it a bit more like scientific illustration, but of course you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. This is only if you wanted to add this in. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning how to color in your great white shark. If you have any questions about the materials or the process, please comment below with all those questions and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Again, we would love to see your work, so please share it with us using the hashtag #OfTheWild and share it at Paint for the Wild on Instagram and Facebook for a chance to be shared on our stories. Thank you so much for joining me again, and we can't wait to draw color with you again soon. And again, thank you for joining me. We can't wait to color and draw with you again soon. Until then, stay safe, stay positive, and keep creating. See you later, guys.